Hello guys, my nickname is Angry and new episode of Taboo series is out, so let's review it. The episode itself had 4 self-contained storylines, so I will stick to them. So let me start with the smallest one. After Zilpha killed her husband, buried him and had sex with James, she, as us, the audience, believed that she and James will start living together, but this isn't the case. Mainly because James has sworn in episode 1 to do very foolish things, and because of that he will not have time for that much romance as Zilpha would want from him, so he pushes her away. So the idea of them with their son living happily is demolished by James's decision. Another storyline, this time a lot longer and more important, is the whole mess around the past. Mr. Chichester visited James. We already know that Mr. Chichester's goal is to get justice for what happened with ship code influence. He tried to contact James before, but that didn't work out. And here he sits, and only thing he does is that he tells James that he knows everything. What the what? This fact only supports my theory about that George have met another survivor of this tragedy. Next thing from this storyline is that James gives Chichester a witness who can legitimately support his theory about that Sir Stuart Strange was in fact behind this tragedy. And the witness is none other than James' spy, who is pissing himself because even though he was once a soldier, now he is a weak man. But don't take me wrong, I like this character as I feel for every single character in every single series, so I hope that we will see him as a strong male he once was. The last thing that happened from this storyline is that Mr. Chichester openly told Sir Stuart that he has witness that will make him suffer for what he did. So that just confirms that George is after him and that he won't stop before he sees the justice done. So now to the biggest reveal of this episode. Brace killed Horace Delaney, aka James's and Zilpha's father. We can see that James knew about this for quite some time, and he can understand that Brace did this with good intention, at least from his perspective, so he gives him mercy. For me, this was really shocking, not only because we haven't seen a single information about this part of the story since episode 1, but because I had 4 or 5 more likely candidates for this act. And now to the most important storyline of this episode. The consequences of Winter's death. We could see them throughout the whole episode, so let's start at the beginning. We see that her mother chose to drown her body down in a river that she loved as if it was her father. I was pissed a lot about the fact that, with most certainty, James killed her when he was drunk, and same goes for Helga, who shot at him, but she didn't want to kill him, she wanted to make him suffer for what he did, and because of that, she confesses to East India. She told them everything about gunpowder storyline except names of Americans and others, which she actually doesn't know. Right after that, we see that James is captured by Crown forces and he was taken to the dungeons of London Tower, where he was in fact suffering for what he did to Winter. But we know otherwise. We know that he didn't kill her, but it was one of East India soldiers. Back to the storyline. When James was being drowned and tortured in London dungeons, he had one request, and that was to meet with Sir Stuart in exchange for information about Americans and all people that had anything to do with the gunpowder storyline. And because the torture methods weren't successful, he got what he wanted. That leads me to second biggest reveal of this episode, and that is that James had plans with Stuart from the start. The truth to be told, he has him in his grasp, because Chichester witness is his, and I personally think that he will use Mr. Stuart to gain ship as well as the right for trade line. If that's the end goal of James, because as it is right now, I am not quite sure about this. So guys, be hyped for next episode. If you didn't know, it's going to be season's final, and of course I will be doing videos for that as well. And that's everything what I wanted to tell you guys. I hope you liked this review, and if you did, you can always subscribe to my channel or watch some of my previous videos from Taboo series, so you are sure that I am worthy of your subscription. See you next time!